Welcome back to the Couch Commentators podcast, the fastest growing podcast in the nation and some may say the world. Today I have Dan, James, Lucas. The boys are back. All four of us. How good, boys? Mate, it's been a big weekend of sports and look, it's rough for some people. We'll get into that later though. But Dan, mate, how are you?
They're not too bad. Had a good weekend. Went to the pub on Saturday, sunk a few bevies.
Nice,
Watched
mate.
some shit games of footy and
Yeah.
backed some losers on the
Did
punt.
football happen? I don't actually. Lucas,
this
mate.
side of the couch anyway.
Yeah, Lucas, mate. How you going?
Oh, guys, bloody hell, what a weekend. Down in Melbourne for the Grand Prix. That was a sight to behold. It was fantastic down there. Already basically pre-booked for next year as well. Good day on the punt. And, the Tigers.
Look at these chips I've got all over myself. Fuck.
How you going, James?
Oh, I'm going pretty good, yeah. Look, I was in my element on Saturday. I was at the old local. Could barely back a winner all day. I think I got one that actually got me out of some trouble. Got about half my money back, which was nice. Yeah, other than that, it was a pretty good game on Sunday. It's good when your team win, isn't it?
Oh, man, I feel great.
Yikes.
How was yours, Brendan?
AFL, I think, was a good sport to watch on the weekend.
I thought the Swans lost, didn't they? Or-
I know the Pies win.
Pies got pumped as well.
Oh, fuck. I didn't actually watch any sport over the weekend. Didn't have a punt as well. It was crazy. But speaking of punting, boys, accountability, the first thing we always knock off the rank. Now, Lucas, the king, goes back-to-back. Top punter for a reason via Sestina, mate.
Yeah, well, look, to those that listened last week, I basically declared her immoral at $3.90. I thought that was
The M word again.
Yeah, the M word.
I thought this M word.
I thought that was a gift from the punting gods, and Jesus, did she not make it look easy? But yeah, guys, back to back. Let's go back to back this week. We'll do some form throughout the week, and I'll come back with you for another dub.
I believe there's a store that you can buy
Yeah,
something
was
to
it
go
the-
back to back.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't remember
yeah.
what it's
The
called.
tree Pete.
That's right.
James,
Yeah,
you didn't do too well on the punt, I don't believe?
No, I heard it was a box behind about 5 different things and had to run around all of them to get a place.
Who are we on?
Campionessa.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
that was an ugly watch.
The
It was
coastal
rough.
coastal sports boys were on Campion Nessa as well, so unlucky
If
them.
you were on the fence and not leading,
Yeah.
you weren't getting out.
Yeah, it was rough.
Boxed in, but Dan, he got close. He had a Manly multi,
I didn't get close. I got robbed.
robbed.
Tries are worth 8 points now, apparently, James. Can you believe it?
Whoa. We'll get into that in
watched.
in the NRL talk a little bit later. But as for the multi, the racing multi, all of us got a place except for me. Again, I didn't really watch any sports, so I don't know what happened. Private Eye shut the bed, but I'm sure we'll get into that later. Now, listen to questions. Lucas, mate, your favourite part of the podcast?
It is. I like it. Hold on. Private Eye just finished.
Yes! Did I get a place?
Yeah, no
Only taking
dividend,
it 3
sorry.
days.
Bloody hell. Yeah, look, guys, straight into the listener questions. Now, this one's from the Paracave podcast, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is in regards to the Manly versus Parramatta game on Sunday. And they've asked, guys, are rules, or is there any common sense to be used? Now, this is regarding the Manly obstruction call where, I'm not sure of the Parramatta player. What was his name?
Lucas Moretti.
My brother Moretti. Now, look, Jake Dubrovic runs into the line, stops dead still, and Moretti, it didn't look like he made a movement to try to get around him. He sort of just wrapped his arms, and Turbo took that hole, and off they went, and passed it on to the stubby Cooler, who eventually scored the try. But it was pulled back for the obstruction play. James, I want to head to you on this one first, mate, because I think you and I are sort of on the same page here, but
Wait,
you know, are rules? Is there any common sense to be used?
I think for this one, the rule, like, it's not that it happened like 20 meters away. It happened right there. He probably could barely see where the ball was at the time. Like, Jake Trebojevic has a huge head. He's just blocking out the whole canvas. But, nah, like, people have talked and, like, it was lazy for Moretti to not get across. Like, again, couldn't really get across because Trebojevic was there. But nobody, like, it's hardly been brought up that Trebojevic has to take 3 more steps and not be lazy as well, and it's a try. So it's rough calling out one guy, but not the other. So
Yeah, and I think, I mean, there's a reason why the NRL wants to call black and white because of how many occurrences there are of this sort of play on weekends. You don't want to give one and not give another. You just want to call it as it is. There's a hint of obstruction, it's obstruction.
yeah, I think they've got it in a pretty good spot. It's never going to be perfect, but I think the rules are in a pretty good spot right now. And I can't believe how much of a fuss this has caused, to be honest.
How about you, Dan?
Rob. Like he was. Jake Trbojevic did stop in front of the guy, but then he was able to get out and like make an attempt on stopping Turbo, but he also just gave up in the process.
Again, like he really wouldn't have seen much of where the ball was.
I don't know. I didn't see it live. I've only seen videos of it.
I'm backing Dan. I'm backing Dan here. This side of the couch
All right, Brandon.
are against it. We're against it because Parramatta are the biggest fucking whingers in the world. Like throwing their arms up every 10 seconds, mate. Oh, he obstructed me, mate. Guffo.
I want to go
Moses.
through and watch everyone else's team because I know for a fact that every single player in the comp does
The biggest
it.
floppers / actors in the world is Guffo and Moses. Have to throw their hands up about 20 times a game.
Look, I've got to... Okay, look. I don't like to agree with Brandon on some things, but fuck yeah, mate. Guffo and Moses do love a sook.
I'm going to watch your teams and take photos and be ready.
But
Because I do not see Appy or Brayley without their arms up as well behind every play the ball.
Yeah, no, that's because Appy is fucking blowing up about his teammates being...
No, Appy was too busy shitting himself on the field.
Oh, there it is.
as for the game, like that play, I swear there's been other obstruction calls where they've allowed it, and then there's some where
I think
they
it's
penalised
because
it.
it's so close. Like, he literally stopped in the line there, and he turbo runs there, like right next to it.
And the only other thing is, like, I'm against it, obviously, but I think you agree. I think it was a forward pass even when he
Oh, it
got
was
through
a forward
anyway.
pass.
Like, he
So
threw
the
it
comment-
around the
The
player and,
commentators
like,
went from going, oh man, it's a forward pass, but it's a bit unlucky for Para, to then blow it up going, oh, that's not an obstruction. It's like, you were just saying it wasn't a try a second ago for a different reason.
Who was on commentary?
Probably Bossy.
Yeah, I think there was Vossi, Alexander, and then when they went back to the other guys, it was like Mick Ennis and stuff. He was
No surprise.
fuming. He looked like a guy that had been dropped from a Parramatta coaching gig in the last 2 years.
and signed up by Manly, is he?
No, I think he's down at Raiders.
So, look, we're going to all have to agree to disagree. I think I'm going to split 50-50 on the couch here.
Yeah.
for this
Which
one.
is what online seems to be as well whenever you go into the comment sections.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, thanks for that one, Paracave Podcast. Now, look, this one from Kyle. This is a doozy. Guys, which team do you think is the best team to ever play in the NRL? So think back to your... well, obviously, this is going to have to be on teams we've watched, because we can't just go, oh, the 60s...
Yeah, the Dragons
Yeah,
had
yeah,
won
yeah,
11 in a row.
Error.
NRL era, yeah. So the best teams you've ever seen. Dan.
It's hard not to go past the late 2000s Storm team, even though, yes, they had all their fucking salary cap issues and all that, but they still had four of the best players in that team. And then of recency bias, you'd have to say Penrith.
For sure. I think you said the Storm. I will say the Storm as well, but I'm going to go... Is it the year they beat the Cowboys in the finals? Probably about 7 or 8 years
2017.
ago. Yeah, where they had... it was, Cronk, Smith, Slater. I know Slater was towards the end of his prime, but Cronk and Smith were in their prime. I think Munster had just come through as well.
That was Cronk's last year at Melbourne, wasn't
Yeah, it was, yeah. Because
Yeah.
then he went on for 18-19. But yeah, that team was stacked.
Yeah, so that would be my pick, that 2017 Storm... that 2017 Storm team. What about you, James?
I would look. I think there's really 3 choices. Like it's Storm, pick a year. It's the Panthers that just won 3 in a row, which there's a good argument for that. But I would go the 2019 Roosters.
Ooh.
Tedesco at the top of his power. Kiri was playing good football. Remember that? Frank.
Gronk playing with a broken arm.
Yeah.
Or busted shoulder or whatever it was.
Friend.
Hargreaves.
Boyd.
Boyd Cordner, like they were just stacked.
Sunnyville.
Victor Radley was the best lock in the game at the time. Yeah,
How times change, hey?
yeah, but yeah, that I think that team was right up there.
Fair enough. How about you, Brandon?
We used to pick pretty good options. And,
I suppose the only three options you can really take.
yeah,
with a
but the
straight
other option
face.
you go for 2016.
How did he not know that was coming?
You can pick a different Storm year, like
What years did Broncos go back to back? Did they?
It wasn't
they
in.
didn't-
I think that was like 98, 99 or
Yeah.
something.
I was gonna say, I remember like
Because they won Super League and then they won
Yeah.
when it came back.
okay, because I think the Broncos team when Lockyer was around, when there was
Like
like Petro
06.
Seven
Yeah.
Seaver and all the fucking Semi Fridays,
Tony Carroll and
the
whatnot.
whole like Queensland team
Well,
was
you
playing
could
for
even go the
Broncos at
06
that
team.
stage.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
06 team was stacked.
Yeah. that's what I was trying to remember which one, like whereabouts.
that's
But
when they won their grand final in the late 2000s.
Yeah, they beat a young Melbourne.
then I'll
Yeah.
lock that in as my answer.
Lock it in. There you go. So we got 2017 Storm. We got Dan,
Oh yeah, the 2009 Storm.
2009 Storm. James had the 2019 Roosters and the 2006 Broncos for Brandon.
So no Panthers. That just means Panthers suck, actually.
Panthers 4-peat coming in.
Overrated.
They got too many injuries now.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one, Kyle. Now, next question. This one's from Matty C.
God,
And
here
this
we
is
go.
directed at Brandon.
I don't think it says it.
I would
on
say
there.
it is. Now, Matty C is asking, would the Sharks be a better chance at winning a competition with one James Leach at halfback? And he wants our thoughts. Now, I'm going to go first here because I'm going to let loose. I think Nicholas Hines is not as great as some may think. And I think James Leach throwing some dummies and just sliding through the line is an absolute surefire way to send yourself into an NRL grand final. Brandon.
That's comical, but look, James Leach has got the Mighty Ducks firing. We're at third place at the moment, so if Sharks could use a James Leach to third place, I'd be happy. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, Nico's obviously a gun. Dally M first year halfback. Made the finals every year. He's been in halfback.
Lost every game in the finals.
Is what it is.
Lost every game in the finals, Dan.
How many wins did you guys have last year? Fuck me. I'm happy with winning.
Yeah,
like,
about the
yeah.
same amount you guys had in the finals in the previous three combined.
If you're not first, you're last, buddy.
That's it, Dan. All right, Dan, how about you, mate? Do you reckon the Sharkies be a better chance?
When I saw Jay Leach, I thought he meant Jack Leach of the English cricket team.
Jack.
So I reckon the Jack Leach could come in and just spin some balls over people's
Yeah.
heads.
Throw some doorknobs at them, you
Yeah,
reckon?
throw some doorknobs and just fucking let loose.
There you
So-
go, there you go. James,
Well,
yourself,
yeah,
mate?
I read Jack Leach as well, and I went, "Geez, I'm a better shot than him. I think like he doesn't look like too much of an athlete." But yeah, look, if I was a chance of taking a team to a grand final, I probably would have been picked up and not make any team ever. So. Yeah, I think they should stick with Nico, but I am sending my number to Craig. So I think he might send a scout out this week just to watch us play Oztag. But yeah, I'll keep in touch with you, Matt.
And that scout's name is Shannon Glenn.
Guys, any other thoughts here? You got the speak pipe?
Nah, no audio listener question.
Nothing like that?
No.
What a quiet week for listener questions. Last week was stacked.
Last week was stacked, yeah.
People wanted to hear Matty C talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, only a few people. There was a lot of questions from a certain member of the... Anyway, guys, that's it for the listener
I
questions.
heard one really good speak pipe last week.
That's it for the listener questions, guys. I'm going to pass this one back to Brandon.
Beautiful stuff. We look forward to more listener questions. Drop it down in the comment section. Put it on SpeakPipe. Put it in our Instagram, mate. We look forward to it. And if you want to hear more Sharks-related stuff, just fire away, mate. But now, NRL talk, round 3, boys. Another week done and dusted. Another who impressed us and who let us down. I'm going to go to Dan, mate. Who impressed you?
Who impressed me? Fucking Bulldogs, honestly.
Bulldogs, yeah.
Even though they only versus Titans, but 32-0, that's saying something.
That put a lot of hope into the Bulldogs fans. You know, and that's
honestly.
something they haven't had for a while.
I don't think Josh has, stopped partying since
Yeah.
Saturday, are they?
Belmore's still going off at the moment,
Yeah.
but any players specifically in this week as well, or
Nah, just the
Just
whole Bulldogs
the
team.
doggies, mate? The doggies. I mean, you guys beat Titans, so anyone can. But James, mate, who impressed you?
Look, I've said it before and I'll say it a lot of times. Parramatta's got to be one of the more fun teams to watch. No defence in that game against Manly from both sides, but tries galore. It offloads, everything looked good. In a game where there wasn't a lot of, in a week, sorry, where there wasn't a lot of good games, I thought that was the best game of the round.
Good stuff, mate. Look, was Blaze Talagi on that list of players who impressed you? Because he
mate.
impressed me, yeah.
Remember when we did our talks at the start of the year? I may have said young Blaze Talagi could break into the scene, probably play centres, maybe a bit of 5'8" or fullback this year, and yeah, he busted straight over the top of Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Maybe he's that centre you've been looking for.
Look, I think he is. I don't know if he's 100% ready. Like, he's made some defensive errors in that first half, but he looks physically capable. It's just I'm learning the more intricacies of centre, because that's really his third position.
But first NRL game, you're always going to make
Yeah,
mistakes.
exactly. 18 years old. Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
It's all right. When you get Zach Lomax, he can play wing for you.
Yeah, because he'll help in defence.
Lucas, mate, who impressed you? Saving the best for last.
As you should, mate. Now, look, the obvious answer there would be Appy Coruscant, although I've got to throw in a couple of Tigers players because, I mean, like I said, I was at the F1 all weekend, so the only game I ended up catching was the Tigers game. And then because we're on the flight for the 4 o'clock game yesterday, and I wasn't watching that shit that they threw up at 6 p.m. So, mate, look, Lockie Galvin, Jareem Buller, and Appy Coruscant really stood out for me.
Nice, mate. Nice. Who impressed me? Oh, did I ask you, James? Yeah.
Yep.
Me was Tedesco. I think again, Roosters did all right, but Tedesco has been in some great form lately, and I think it's to do with the sprint training he had at the start of the year. But he just looks like he's running freely. He's thinking freely as well, scoring tries. That's always good. But he's definitely playing his way back into his New South Wales jersey that was in questions last year. I think after 3 rounds, he looks like the informed fullback, which is it's great.
Yeah, I remember, like, before the season started, he even said, like, it's the first time he's had a full preseason in, like, 3 or 4 years. Like, just that sort of stuff to get your body 100% right can be so important, especially as you get older as an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last year they had the World Cup, and then the years before they've just had injuries and other international jobs. Yeah, he looks like back to 2019, Teddy.
It's good to see. It's good for New South Wales and fuck those Queensland Dogs. But
No Sharks players impressed you, did they?
well, look, we could get into that, but I don't want to. Like, we have that coming up in the podcast. So now, who let us down? I'll take this one first. Chris Butler, the referee. Nico Hines had probably his worst game, but so that who's let me down. I'll give it to Dan, mate. Who let you down?
Everyone in the Dragons jersey except Zach Lomax.
Wow. And he wants to leave, so that's fucking rough.
Mate, he's been our best player 3 weeks going, so...
True. James, mate, who let you down?
I can't split it between the Titans or the Rabbitohs because, by God, they both looked atrocious. And, yeah, look, I didn't tip them or nothing, but, yeah, you just want better football than that.
That's true, mate. Lucas, who let you down?
You know, James took the words right out of my mouth, but I've heard the Sharks in there with them.
Yeah. They let you down? I thought they would have made you happy.
No, mate, you expect more from someone that's been
okay.
to the top 4 the last 2 years, and then
No, we weren't top 4 last year.
oh, sorry, you expect more from them.
Now, there was a head clash in the first game, Penrith and Broncos. I don't know if you lads seen it because it was all over the social medias and everything. Reece Walsh's eye. It's sad to see, he's got some of the most dreamy eyes, but got a big boo-boo underneath one of his eyes. Was it in like a fracture, or I
was
seen
a
one thing it was a
fractured eye
fracture,
socket.
and then I seen it wasn't a fracture.
I'm pretty sure
the initial scans were wrong.
I'm pretty sure it was. It wasn't.
Yeah, I'm
Because-
pretty sure it's fractured eye socket.
Yeah, because they're throwing up. Could he get surgery? Could he not get surgery?
Oh wow!
And they had to, they drove him back because of it.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
fly with a buggered eye socket.
Wow. So look, out for then 4 to 6 weeks. The head clash has not resulted in a suspension for Taylor May. Should it have? Where do you guys stand, Lucas, mate? What do you think?
Taylor May seems pretty protected by PVL.
Yep.
Look, you can look at it in 2 ways. that Panthers obviously getting the rub of the green as per. Who was it that this happened to? Okay, here we go. Finucane.
Yep.
Finucane happened to him 18 months ago, and he missed how long? 5 weeks?
I think it was like 3 to 4, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
3 or 4 weeks. This is once again, this is the black and white ruling. This is a grey area. Should have been what it was for Finucane. I know it was a long time ago, but the NRL pride themselves on their we don't let someone get away with it or whatnot. They pride themselves on having that black and white area, and I think they've duffed this one.
Well, I thought they set a precedent, although I thought it was an incorrect precedent, but with the Finucane one, this one, in a way, was worse. He jumped up a bit, his chins managed to hit him on the eye,
I know, the footages of him throwing his arms out, but come on, mate.
Yeah, he didn't bend his back at all. Like the Finucane one, he bends his back and then gets his head into the wrong position, and it's a head clash. But this one, he's obviously head's in the wrong position, but he slightly jumps up, front on, doesn't look to get his head to the side at all. Look, I don't know. If I had it ruled my way, 10 in the bin and probably just a 1 week suspension, because I think the Finucane suspension was just way over the top for an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But he's pushed it. He's come out of the line to try and make an impact, and he did on the best player possibly in the Broncos team, and sealed the game.
Yeah, there's got to be some duty of care on the players. Dan, mate, how do you see it?
Yeah, I reckon he should have been suspended. As the boys said with the Finucane thing, it's pretty much the same thing. It's worse than what the Finucane one was. So
yeah,
he should have at least got 4 to 5 weeks.
The difference is the Finucane one was against Penrith, and this one was Penrith. So have that how you will.
Penrith are protected
the
species.
funny thing, during the week before this game, I actually seen a video of how they treat Reece Walsh in all the games they verse, and they're swinging arms, there's fucking late shots, there's so much shit. So when I seen this, I'm like, holy shit, they must literally tell their players, do anything to get under his nerve, and you probably get away with it, which they did.
Yeah.
And this time they've resulted in him out for 6 weeks.
And a fucked up face.
He went in to hit him.
Yeah.
He didn't go in to fucking head clash him. He was probably he still wanted to drop him late and put him on his ass.
What is the difference, right? Realistically, between this one and the Sevo one, in the trial, you both times you've rushed out with intent to hurt, you've got it wrong, you've knocked the guy out.
Yep.
Sevo's got 4 weeks. That was shoulder, but it still did the exact same job.
Yeah.
The difference is it's for the fans, guys, and that's what you got to think when it's football. Penrith, it's for the fans, as PBL would say. Speaking of Penrith and suspensions, injuries. Cleary today, there's been talks of him having a hamstring injury, looking like 3 to 4 weeks out. Ouchie to everyone's fantasy teams. For Penrith, though, it's interesting to see who they'll put into half, whether Luai gets the half role and they bring in Laurie, or do they bring in Brad Snyder, who's an out-and-out half, to the kicking game, that sort of stuff.
And the question is, then who buys Schneider, thinking that he's going to save their club?
Well, that, and you can pick him up fantasy. I don't know how much he's got. So
4 weeks is it worth it?
Yeah. Look. What do you guys think about Cleary's injury? Good for the game. Everyone loves seeing Penrith
Fuck
suffer.
the
I think he'll just get rested for 4 weeks and come back better than ever, like he has done in the last 3 or 4 years.
That's fair. Now, look, we already have mentioned it multiple times in the podcast, but there is a game that happened, game of football. There was a lot of stuff that went wrong in this game, but 32-6, Tigers win against Cronulla. I'm going to fire to Lucas first, and then I'm going to give my statement on the game I thought.
And when Brandon gives you a statement, the rest of us are going to leave the room.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a close loss, I could understand some arguments from Brandon. But the fact that the Cronulla Sharks were absolutely beaten, demolished, and embarrassed at Leichhardt Oval 32-6, the Cronulla Sharks were not in the game. Nico Hines, as he always does, crumbles under pressure. Look, It was a great game plan set up by Benji and the boys. You couldn't have had a better captain for the Tigers to lead that team to such a dominant display and dominant victory. Appy Coruscant really showing Brayley that there are levels to hooking. Look, it was simple. It was easy. You guys had that first try early on. I thought it could have gotten a bit ugly, but from then on, we were just. I mean, our forwards steamrolled your forwards. Talakai sort of had the better of our rookie centre for about 5 minutes before he kept dropping the ball. Look, what more is there to say?
What more is there to say?
Destruction. So look, I'll let you rebut and then go from there.
Well, look.
Okay, before. Sorry, just quickly. If I hear anything about ref this, ref that, ref doesn't save 26 points.
Okay. Now, this was one of the bravest games that Sharks could have ever put out. Starting with 16 players to begin the game, we lost Royce Hunt, one of our big forwards, before the game even started. So 0 minutes for Royce. Then during the game, we missed Dale Finucane, only played 22 minutes. So he's out.
What did he do in those 22 minutes?
Got fucking
Other than
HIA.
get steamrolled by John Bateman for those 22 minutes.
Toby Rudolph, he only played 40 minutes because he got his ankle hip dropped, but there was no penalty for that.
Hip drop?
There was a hip drop on him. Okay, there was also a swinging arm on him that was no penalty.
Said hip drop. I'd love to see it.
I don't know if I still have the picture. It might be on my other phone.
Oh, a picture? No, mate.
I'll
picture
send it to
can
you.
make things. No. I want footage, mate. Because a picture,
But,
I could do this and it looks like I'm sucking a wang, right?
So I'll clip that.
But realistically, I'm not. But in a still frame, it looks like I am. Continue.
Okay, so continue. So 14 players you versed, and you're proud of that. Look, is it going to be a big sign for Tigers that they're going to win the comp? No. They beat a team with 14 players. Nico played his worst game ever. The ref...
It's his worst game since the finals.
That's his worst game ever. Arguably. So you versed 14 players. Imagine versing a Sharks team without Braden Hamunueli, Britton Nakora, Royce Hunt... Finucane played 22 minutes, Rudolph played 40 minutes, and being happy. Now, for the fans, I'm happy for Tigers because they don't get too many wins. You don't get many wins, so be happy. But as for a win, it's nothing, mate. Nothing. As I said, the ref, 5-1 penalty count.
Here we go, the ref.
5-1 penalty count to 15 minutes left in the game, and then he gives us a second one for a flop. Fucking flop.
that ref, that saved you 26 points.
And... 2 of your players got charged fines for a careless high tackle and a dangerous tackle. Neither of those tackles were a penalty at all. How did that fucking happen? Because Chris Butler was going, damn, at Leichhardt. The fans were fucking corrupting him, mate.
That's not funny.
Brandon.
Other than that, yeah, no, that's all I had. I mean, Appy Stefano looked good, mate. Like, your plays looked good. But as I said... Take it as it will out of the game. I don't think you're going to go onto a grand final from that.
We're absolutely not going to go to a grand final, but you know what, mate? Neither are the Sharks. So...
I don't know, mate. If we had a full-strength forward pack, not fucking Origi Kafusi and Tom Hazelton and our forwards, that was it.
You will not make the final. You will not make the grand final, mate. There's no way.
There's no way. Say something?
Go on, Dan.
You know how we said our para players are whingers before? Are you sure that Brandon's not a para player? Because all I hear is fucking.
No, Brandon is easily the sorest loser that I know when it comes to sport.
Mate, you should have seen him in the fucking pub on Saturday night, sitting there.
I back my boys. I got my jersey on because I know we'll come back and we'll fight into the 8 where these guys are destined for ninth this year. Destined for ninth.
You'll fight into the 8th and you'll limp out as you always do, mate, because Nico Hines goes missing when it matters.
Destined for ninth.
Missing when it matters. But, Nico Hines.
Speaking of Nico Hines, still first in Dally M, so...
Didn't get any points this week.
Fuckheads.
Didn't get any points this week.
No, he did, mate. He got 6 points.
No, he was 6 in the first 2.
No points. Teddy, Turbo, Pappy, close though, like 1 or 2 points behind. So, but yeah, hopefully that's what everyone wanted out of me and the Tigers and Lucas. You know, a bit of arguments. That's good stuff.
I fell asleep for the first half. So.
I'm sure you'll hear more out of that for the year because this will be the only win they have, and they'll hold on to it. So, but yeah, that's all for NRL talk, boys. Looking forward to this week's games. Hopefully, Sharks can get a win.
Dragons definitely not winning this week.
There is a game though, a game to be had. The Tigers versus the Eels, so it'll be a bit of a war between these two this week.
Is there any bet going on?
Nah, me like James.
We have a good game bet. We just want it to be a good game.
Yeah, James is extremely gracious, and the good thing about the April 1st games, or sorry, the Easter games with the Tigers and the Eels, it's always a good game, no matter how shit the Tigers are.
Is it April 1st?
No, sorry, I don't know
I
what
was
the
gonna
fuck I said.
say, he's on April Fool's. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Actually,
I
it
think
might be.
that lines up.
It
I'm pretty sure that lines up.
It is. Yeah.
April 1st, April Fools. Now, we go into a new segment. You guys wouldn't have seen it. Only me and Lucas know about it.
Yes.
Unless you listen to the podcast. Hey, yo. Leachy's Fantasy Locks. We're bringing some bit of fantasy in. Look, self-proclaimed expert here. So I did say bring in Galvin and Finny Fuiaki. And Galvin 60 against Cronulla. So, fuck, I was on the ball there. And Finny Fuiaki, everyone knew he was going to score well starting second row. I got 40, which isn't too bad. As for Fainu and Hoskins, though, I picked Hoskins when I thought he would still make the starting squad. He scored a 48, not too bad. When he scores tries, obviously he gets more. But and then Fainu 25 was pretty bum average when you guys were steamrolling our forward pack, as you would say.
Fainu didn't play too much in that game, I don't think either. Yeah,
that's true. But this week's lot.
I think he played 50 actually.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he played 50. Hoskins played 60.
You know,
Man,
you know
like
what's
it.
really
Great man
hard?
up here.
You know what's really hard to do? Just quickly on the Tigers game.
Yeah, mate.
When Utoi Kamanu and Fainu are on the field at the same time.
They've got the same build, don't they?
Same build, same massive head, just monster blokes. It's really hard to decide who's who.
I think Stefano's are just a little bit thicker.
Yeah, but
just a little bit.
Fainu's still growing into his body a bit, but yeah, still massive.
It is tough. But lads, this week's lock. Are you looking forward to it, boys? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So,
I've got some questions about it.
now, it is pending Parramatta's team.
That's right.
But Blaze Salagi, 42 with a try. Look, there isn't that many centre depth at the moment, but he looked good.
So
Now, what's your opinion, James?
just job security.
Job security.
Yeah.
Like we're missing Sevo and Simonson right now. Look, he's got the potential to either push out Simonson or Russell, but I thought Russell looked pretty good.
Sevo's back this week, right?
Either this week or next week,
Okay.
he's coming straight back in. It's really if he could, squeeze out Simonson.
Look,
So.
it is pending team list. We don't have team list, and I'm just picking off
look,
last
I
week's scores.
I think he
and
might be picked this
he's
week.
a guy that would be.
Oh no, Simonson should be
would be
back this
nice.
week because it's just a HIA. So so check
knows?
team list.
Does he
but,
keep him out? Oh, I don't know. You tell me. Other than that, I've got a lot of trades I've got to make because I've got injuries. So
I'd
yeah,
just like to bring something up.
mate.
So last week we spoke on the podcast about the upcoming match of the week.
I don't remember.
It
No.
was Brandon versus Lucas. Now, Dan, could you just tell me who won that one, mate?
Hang on, let me just pull up fantasy on my phone real quick. Hang on. Let me just have a look here. Round 3. Scrolling. Oh. Brandon Leach 699 points, and Lucas 710 points. It looked like Lucas won.
It looks like I won. Don't ask me how, because I don't know.
I do want to say,
think
as
you
far
had-
as fantasy and Supercoach go right now, if your team is going good, you don't get rugby league.
I think he had like Keon Kilometer. He scored like a 70 something. Although
Dude,
he
how?
fuck.
Oh, no, I saw that.
He
I
had
saw
that
the
one
good
line
snap.
break, and I felt like that was the only thing
Dude,
the
he
whole
scored
South
an
End did.
86 on Supercoach.
Wow.
I had Reece Walsh get 2 points, which was
Yeah,
fantastic. But yeah,
You know what match is coming up this week?
it's me versus Dan this week, so it's another.
Ah.
Ooh, it's a
Heated.
couchy.
And I'm
another
3-0
County.
at the moment.
Who have you
Ooh,
versed?
As I said, people are going well right now. Do not get rugby
I
league.
versed Ashley, Brad, and who'd I verse last
Yeah,
week?
look at that, dude. Actually,
He's a spoon
Yeah,
bro.
I was
Yeah.
so confident versing Brad 2 weeks ago. I didn't even make a trade. Oh no, it was last week. I didn't make a trade.
And then the
easy.
first week I versed Welsh's missus.
Oh my
Far
god.
out. This comp is rigged. I come out Moe Tyson.
I think, didn't you beat Moe though?
Yeah, I've just beat
Yeah.
Moe. I've lost to Tyson. I lost to someone else. Maybe been Brian. I can't remember.
So
Yeah, I think there's 4 of us on 3-0 at the moment. Me and Lucas are 2 of them.
I don't think so. I think I lost the first
No,
one.
you're 3-0.
Yeah, either that or actually all the comps, it's all good. The games are good. Yeah, I don't care who I versed. I'm sure you versed Ashley as well, didn't you?
Actually, week 1. Yeah. No, I couldn't have viewed it. Anyway.
Well, enough fantasy talk. I'm sure the listeners loved that. Don't know if it makes the final cut, but UFC Bite Night, lads. Now, I don't know if either of you two seen it. I know Lucas definitely seen it.
I saw the photo evidence after.
Yeah, there was
I've
a
seen the photos on
UFC Fight Night. Don't know who was in it. Don't care who was in it, to be fair. It was a nothing fight night. But there was a fight that ended in DQ. It was Andre Lima versus Igor Severino. I was like, why does that say Severing?
Severing heads.
That's not his name. Severino. But yeah, Igor Severino decided he was a bit hungry in the fight and took a bit of a bite out of Lima's arm. It was not just a bit of a bite, it was a solid fucking grip he had. You could see the teeth marks vividly on it. Gets disqualified.
Did he not have a mouth guard up top?
He did. You can kind of see the one line is just full
okay, yeah.
Straight across.
Yeah, and then one's
Like where
the
the
bite
guard was.
marks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he got the fight bonus as well, the bite bonus, and decided to get a tattoo with the bite bonus, and I got fucking bit bonus, and then he got the tattoo of the bite, and that is around the bite. So he's took it full on, and he's obviously gained a couple of fans from this, as you can imagine.
legendary.
But yeah, I think that's the first biting fight DQ that I've seen, and to the point that I think the guy's been kicked off the roster as well.
Yeah, Dana announced like only an hour after it happened, he said that bloke's gone, never
Yeah.
come back.
Jeez.
Did you mention that he got obviously the bonus, but then got another 50 Gs for the tattoo as well?
Well, I didn't know that.
So he got 50 Gs, and then
Yeah.
Dana gave him an extra 50 for getting that tattoo and said, this kid's fucking awesome, and then gave him an extra 50 Gs.
Like
Well-
the tattoo would have cost him like a couple $100,
Give
and
it
then,
that,
it's,
yeah.
and then it's just got 100K.
That
Like,
just shows how much Dana could be paying his fight.
Yeah, Ken just
Here's
broke
an extra
50K around.
mate. Fuck me.
You're
Yeah.
gonna fight for peanuts. $4
Yeah.
grand to show, $4 grand to win.
Yeah, that bloke.
50K if you get bit.
That bloke just made his yearly, or his fucking lifetime salary. He probably wasn't going to make any more. But no, good stuff. But yeah, couldn't believe that happened. There was another thing though for the One Piece fans out there. Farlow, I'm looking at you. James, I'm looking at you. There was a fighter named Fernando Padilla. He won his fight, and after he was wearing a straw hat in the ring, and he said, "I am the king of the pirates." So for us anime fans out there, I'm very excited for this guy's future. I don't know, I didn't watch his fight at all, but big fan.
I can only assume he fought in a wacky way using his rubber arms.
Yeah, use his gum powers or something like that. But yeah, no, that was all for the fight night. I'm sure there was
Bite
other
night.
fight. The bite night.
Fine night.
UFC
Paige
bite
Van
night.
Zandt won at strawweight for the first time, and she might be ranked. That's about it.
Yippee! Good old Paige. All right, now I have heard a little bird has told me there's a bit of cricket news. I know we said only 2 weeks ago that we were retiring the segment, but James.
Yeah, it's a segment it's the John Farnham of segments, keeps coming back. Look, so the IPL started, and there was just something that caught my eye. Poor little Johnny Bearso
Oh,
Don
has
Hey.
been caught out of his crease yet again. This time down the non-striker's end, the ball has been smashed back.
No.
Touches the bowler, gets their finger to it, knocks the stumps. He leaves mumbling and furious at himself.
No.
It's on. You can find the video on Fox Sports. I think it popped up today again.
Johnny
It's a good,
Bearso.
funny watch. It's,
Wow. That's hilarious because he's already known for it, but now it's just so much worse.
The
And
Mad Lad's
the
done it again.
memes that would come out just constantly.
I think it was Simon Kadich in commentary. He was like going, "Oh, you can see him getting riled up. Maybe you can find the comedy in this." Actually, no, I don't think you can.
Stay in your crease.
Just another thing I seen on cricket. I think it was last week. I think it was Elise Perry. He hit a 6, and there was a car on the boundary, and she smashed the window, and then they gave her a trophy of the smashed window.
Yeah.
I want to say that was weeks ago.
Yeah, she smashed it weeks ago. Then they gave her a trophy recently
okay.
that had the
Yeah.
broken glass
Yep.
of the window. I did see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all for cricket, James.
Yeah, that's all for cricket. Yeah, we had to bring that up.
Now let's
See you-
kill it till
yeah,
June.
Yeah, see
Ooh,
you
there's plenty of
in
uphill.
December. Now we go to Lucas with horse racing.
Goodness me, boys.
Goodness
What a-
gracious.
What a weekend of horse racing. 6 Group 1s, 5 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne. God, we've. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
You gone to sleep, have you?
No, I was just making some mouth movements.
I thought he may have been laughing at Melbourne only having one.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Yes, you can go back to sleep now, Dan.
Go
No,
back.
no, I actually watched some horse racing over the weekend.
Oh,
so
well, here we go. Well, I'm going to come to you.
I don't know what race it was, but I was watching
That's
it.
okay, so you better realise. Now, look, we've just, I think, this week and next week are the Rose Hill, the 2 big weekends of the Rose Hill Carnival, and the following 2 weeks is the Randwick Carnival, which the couch commentators will be attending one of those weeks.
Mhm.
We're not going to tell you which one.
Yeah, maybe 2 of those weeks. Wink me, wink
Ooh.
me. That'll be me for
Live
sure.
meet up.
But yeah, look, guys, we'll get straight into it. So, race 2 on the Rose Hill program was the Manion Cup. Now, William Haggis is a name that Australian horse racing fans will have come to know over the last few years. 4 years ago, he brought 5 years ago, he brought over Adabe, the English Raider. Adabe's come out. He won the Randvet Stakes and he won the Queen Elizabeth. Following year, brings back Adabe. Adabe wins the Queen Elizabeth again. He has a year break, William Haggis, bringing out his horses. And then last year, he brings out Dubai Honour. And Dubai Honour gives us a little lesson. So William Haggis, he must honestly have these dates circled out in his calendar, 10 months in advance. Which horse am I going to take out to win massive prize money?
Which money do I want to win this year?
Seriously. So this year, he didn't bring one of his top weight for age stars there. He brought Post Impressionist, who is a handicap stayer. Now, look, he comes smash and grab to win the Manion Cup there in Rose Hill. He was last on the turn. Tom Marquand, Aussie Tom, he's his main jockey, just pulls out at the back of the field, goes about, six lanes off the fence, and just puts the foot down and comes away winning impressively. Did you guys see that one? And I hope you were on if you did, because when you see William Haggis running in Sydney, you back it.
Was this later in the day or early?
No, this is early, race
Early.
2.
Oh no, so I missed probably the first 4 or 5
that
races.
would have only been at about 1 o'clock that
Yeah.
race.
we were
so-
watching Junior Rugby Lord.
Yeah, we got to the
JRL.
pub at like 1:30-ish.
Fair. Well, yeah, look, William Haggis. You know what, mate? I read this ridiculous stat the other day. I'm pretty sure at Rose Hill, not just Randwick, at Rose Hill, I think Haggis has had 12 runners for 8 winners.
Wow.
Wow.
He's nearly just, if you see his horse, back it.
Is Mark Wand usually on those ones as well?
Aussie Tom flies out this time of year every year for 4 weeks.
That's crazy. Like he also gets to come over and have a smash and grab job. Like
Mate, think of them. Mate, they've raced for fucking ribbons in England, in the UK. They don't, mate. Their top Group 1s are worth maybe £250,000.
Yeah.
Our stuff's worth millions. And Aussie Tom, who has won, he won on Dubai Honour last year. He won the 2 years on Adabe. That's a $5 million race. So he's won equivalent of $15 million in prize money from that.
Surely Tom's going, maybe I should stay in Australia for a little bit.
Wife Holly Doyle's also a jockey as well. And they come out here
for a little holiday.
for like a month. They bugger back off.
Yeah.
And, but Look,
Nice.
yeah, a massive performance from Post Impressionist, who is now the favourite for the 2-mile Sydney Cup on the same day the Queen Elizabeth is on.
Ooh.
Can't imagine be paying too much.
I think
if
he's about
that's,
350.
that's pretty good.
350, yeah.
Beyond that.
Now, guys, the next one. It's not in all caps, but there's a lot of exclamation marks. Via Sistina. Guys, I said the M word. I said last week that I had to message the betting apps to get her into the futures markets. You guys might not have heard it, but yeah, I had to message the betting apps.
Yeah, I did watch the episode. I watch.
He watches.
Dan doesn't.
I listened to like an hour of it, then I fell asleep on the train.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it when
yeah.
it got to horse racing you fell asleep?
Probably, I
You
can't
do-
remember.
Anything not NRL related, Dan sleeps. Anyway, guys, Via Sistina posted a very, very impressive figure for her win in the Randwick Stakes, where I declared her an M word, a moral. Look, they crawled. They were 18 lengths slower to the 600 meters. That's 18 lengths slower than Group 1 average. So you couldn't get any more crawl if you wanted to. For her to come from last, pull out wide and just go past them with ease as well. There was no whip. There was a couple of shakes of the rein, and she went past our best, like Think It Over. Another nice import Buckaroo, and another also nice import Place to Carousel. She went past them like they were nothing. So she's got the Queen Elizabeth at her mercy, in my opinion. You blokes catch this race, or?
Yeah, look, I went against you because I was like, look, it's the best of both worlds. Either I win or the multi gets another leg.
But as well, she was $3.90 into $2. She
Yeah.
jumped at $2.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, thank you for
Help.
believing in me.
Yeah.
Brandon, Dan,
Yeah.
opinions, boys.
Flew past them. Like, when you were talking up, obviously, look, you know a little bit, so I was inclined to think you knew about this horse, but I hadn't done any research, hadn't seen any form or that sort of stuff. I'm going, she is versing some of the better horses. How will she go? And then when she's coming last, and I'm going, maybe Lucas is, and then like just flew past them, like and gapped them, like put a gap job on them.
And near on, I wouldn't say untouched. That's not true, but
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder how much more she could have got
That's
as well.
Damn.
Well, it was a good race for her. Like seeing her at the back and then she got around. So yeah, it was good to actually watch some horse racing.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for your honest opinion. Now, Dan O'Sullivan, my ratings guru, Dan O'Sullivan, he said she won
He's a
that
part
by-
of the podcast.
Yeah,
so-
he's pretty much is.
She won that, sorry, by a length and a half, and he said the fact she won by a length and a half while they went so slow is ridiculous. And if they went at an even or even a fast tempo or even an even tempo, she would have gapped them by about 4 lengths, do you reckon? So he's putting her up there past Dubai Honor, past
Yeah.
Adabe. You know, she could be one of the best imports to come out of Europe. And I know, Brandon, you say you like to take the mickey out of me and whatnot, but if there's one thing I know, it's international horses coming to Australia. I like to do my research on them.
The imports. He knows the imports.
I'll go to you for this one, Brandon, mate. The Riff.
The Riff Rocket,
The
mate.
Riff Rocket, mate. You got a nice dub there.
Yeah, mate. Seems to always be back in Riff Rocket and does it again. Gets the job done. Your Chill Wolf, Kill Wolf,
CEO Elwolf.
Chill Wolf. Looked good, but not good enough, obviously.
Well, mate, like before the race, I told you, I said, mate, if he's hitting the line, it'll be a good trial
Yeah.
for the Derby. And, mate, he was storming to the line with... Obviously,
Storming.
Riff Rocket over that 2000 was a bit much, but I think Chael Wolf could turn the tables on in the Derby if Riff Rocket goes there. But a fantastic performance by Riff Rocket. Dan, what do you think, mate?
I don't remember that race. think I-
Purple and white stripes.
Couple of
Yeah.
white stripes down the outside. Tom Kitten was very, very disappointing. Were you on Tom Kitten, James?
No, I wasn't. No. There was a few races that I did miss because we had some family that were sitting out in the smokers area in the sun, away from any TV screen.
Spewing.
Rough.
That ruined your weekend.
Yeah, like it's like, look, I want to catch up with yous, but I also want to be back inside in the aircon watching the races.
But then you're going to be catching up with them this weekend. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, so interesting to see where Riff Rocket goes from here if he continues on to the Derby, or if he is a 3-year-old that goes on to the Queen Elizabeth. That'll be interesting.
Interesting who rides Riff Rocket as well.
Was it Nash this time?
Nash
it
this
was
time,
Nash, wasn't
but
it? Who
it was
James on?
J-Mac last time. Was he on Tom? Nah.
No, I don't even know who was on. You know what? I'm gonna have a gaze. Give me a sec.
He's going to have a geese.
Yeah, Nash on this time obviously did really well. J-Mac last time did really well as well. So, like, interesting to see.
J-Mac was on Militarized, who was scratched to run in the George Rider.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Speaking about that,
Speaking.
onto the George Rider. And I tell you what, Darren Flindell nails the call. V8, vroom. V8, vroom in the George Rider. God, what a great call and a great ride from the son of Grunt. With probably the best named horse in horse racing, V8, son of Grunt. But, look, I think it was a few weeks ago on the podcast, we were talking about how a mile for V8 was a bit too much. Not many Group 1s at 1,400 metres. And then, bang, up pops the 1,500-metre Group 1 of the George Rider. And him and Lady Laguna go at it down the straight. So, think about it. Peels out and takes a lead at the top of the straight, but V8 went past him, and Lady Laguna, who's been in her preparation now for quite a while, fair play to her, they went at it, and V8 just gets the dub. How'd you boys see the race?
Like an idiot that was on Think About It, and then watching V8 go past, you just go, yeah, we did talk about this. We talked about this exact situation, and I'm the fool.
Well, I probably should have told you as well. Think about it. Only 2 days before the race, they weren't sure if he was going to run because he had his blood test done and his blood came back not 100%. So that's why he was like $2 favourite and drifted all the way out to like 450.
That's big. I just saw odds on Think About It and went, "Ooh, yeah, tasty."
Yeah.
I want monies.
Brandon, what do you got for us, mate?
For me, I thought it was going to be a little long for Think About It anyway. So I was on Militarize, and yeah, fucking that was bad.
This is what confuses me with Waller, right? Militarize. I think he's a 2,000-metre horse. Why would you keep him at 1,500? You see him hit the line like he did.
Yeah.
He smashed through that line. Honestly, I think a 2,000 would have been perfect. He might be the 3-year-old that goes in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Dan, who are you on, mate?
I think we had a table bet on someone in this race. Can't remember who.
We weren't on V8.
betting
Let me
myself
tell you.
that day,
Got thoughts and prayers, mate? What about your thoughts? Any thoughts on the race?
I looked up and said Think About It winning, and then fucking VA just came out of nowhere.
Right.
And went, vroom!
Bad room. Now, guys, the big one of the day, the Golden Slipper. Now, I'll be very strongly worded on this one. I don't think that Adam Hieronymus should have been taken off Stormboy. If he did, and J-Mac went on, fair play, but I don't think J-Mac should have been taken off Stormboy and Ryan Moore put on for his fly-in, fly-out job. Ryan Moore had one job, and that was to keep Stormboy awake and alert in the barriers. Missed the start by 1.5 lengths, came out second last, and the ticket was basically confetti from then on. What did you make of the race, James?
Frustration as a Stormboy follower as well. Did not think it could lose a race this prep. Yeah, just as you summed it up pretty well.
A bit of frustrating. Brandon, what about you, sir?
I had a lot of money on Stormboy.
What were your thoughts as soon as the gates broke and he dropped back?
When I couldn't see it up the front, I'm like, where the fuck is it? And I'm looking, I'm going, oh no, what's going on here, mate? And then from then, I don't know if it has that kick to like catch everything. Like, obviously it didn't.
You start coping in your head, you're going, oh, but it's still a good horse. It can catch up. Come on.
and then you go to Switzerland. Where the fuck was it?
Anyone
Still racing.
Comparing Switzerland to Stormboy is off their rocker.
Yeah.
Dan, what are you thinking, mate?
I had a trifecta in this race, and someone told me to stand out Stormboy for first, and I put I can't remember who. I put Switzerland and someone else in it. Yeah, I scrunched that ticket up.
Well, look, I think no matter what, you take Stormboy out of this because yes, he missed the kick, and Ryan Moore had to ride him to get him up into a good position. Now think about the races I've just spoken about, right? So race 2, Post Impressionist, comes wide, goes down the middle of the track. Viasastina, wide, middle of the track. Riff Rocket, middle of the track. V8, middle of the track. Right? Stormboy was up against the fence. That was the inferior ground all day.
Yeah.
Ryan Moore even said, look, I had nowhere to go. I had to take the inside fence. Mate, you know what? Obviously, I thought the ticket was confetti as well at the start. But that 150 where he loomed up and took the lead for half a second, I've gone, oh my God, mate. How is he going to win in this ground? Look, he didn't.
I said it in the group chat that I was going to put Stormboy in the multi. I said I was going to bring him down, but luckily Graham put him for a place.
There's a lot of weight on that horse.
But the thing is, though, you take him out of it because Brian Moore said, look, he is just looking for further ground now. Now, 1200's definitely not... I think that's the last we see of him. If he races onto a 3-year-old, we'll never see him at 1200. I think...
14 to 16.
Hey?
14 to 16.
So, in 2 weeks is the size produce stakes over 1400, and then 2 weeks after that is the champagne over 1600. He'll just go bang bang. I think he'll win both of those pretty comfortably. I just think, obviously, Lady of Camelot. Let's talk about the winner now. Sorry, Lady of Camelot wins it fantastically. She's fast.
Yeah,
she's damn fast. Over 1200, she might have his measure. Coleman as well, fantastic race. Just narrowly going down to Lady of Camelot. But did you guys see the footage of Gay Waterhouse watching the race?
no.
I'll find it for you after the podcast. She's at home. Her daughter, who's obviously working with the media, and some other people are there. She's watching. They're going, Stormboy, where is he? And she's cheering on Stormboy, right? She sees that he's getting beat. She's got her hands on her head. Her other horse, Lady of Camelot, has won the race. And she's not like this. The filly, and she's there. But mate, think of the money they lost on that stud deal with him not winning.
Yeah. Oof.
Rough. A lot amount of money.
But
lot amount of money.
Third place, so I got my money back, which was that I put a lot on. There you go.
But yeah, congrats to Lady of Camelot and all connections there. Now, guys, the Group 1 Galaxy, Zapateo for Godolphin wins at the juicy odds of $31. Look, my eyes were on Private Eye. I just don't think he's come up this prep one little bit. I don't think he comes up in the autumn, come to think about it. I think he's a spring horse and not an autumn horse.
And that's usually... Because that makes sense as well. Because usually he comes around to the spring and it's paying like $7 and you're going, bro, that's a good horse. How is it still paying $7? Yeah. Wins about 2 or 3 races at like good odds. And you go, how'd that happen?
Yeah. Brandon, mate, thoughts on this race? Zapateo, Private Eye, you name it.
Very disappointed, as you guys said. Had it for the place for the multi, and that was what let us down. So, honestly, I didn't even it was that far back. I just gave up on it. I didn't think even as you said, it just doesn't seem to be running well at the moment.
Yeah.
Did it have the one race that got second to Imperatrice this run, and that's about it?
Yeah, that was the straight, the Black Caviar Lightning of 1,000 in Flemmo. Yeah.
And now just hasn't done much. So
I
won't be back in it again.
Maybe they kick on to the TJ Smith. What about you, Dan? Thoughts on that race, mate?
I think by this time the footy was on, so I was watching the footy.
Fucking hell, Dan. Fucking hell.
He didn't have his eye on Private Eye.
The footy was on that screen, and I had to turn my head to watch the races. So, laziness.
Imperatrice wins her 10th Group 1. Now, she was short $1.60. She nearly lost right on the line to... Did you guys see Johnny Rocker?
No, I don't know how I've missed this race.
I think he was paying $91, Johnny Rocker. just lost to Imperatrice, the mighty man. Now look. I've been in a lot of arguments on Facebook regarding Imperatrice. She's a very, very good horse. Don't get me wrong, very good horse. But the amount of people that are calling her the best sprinter since Black Caviar must have only woken up in the last 6 months, because there was a fella called Nature Strip running around for a few years. And I think I said this on the podcast a few weeks ago. If Nature Strip was running around at Moonee Valley, picking off these second-rate Group 1 races like she is, he'd have had 20 Group 1s.
Or imagine if, like, Eduardo, that, like, ran second so many times to it, just avoided Nature Strip.
Exactly. He'd have been down there racking up Group 1s like she is. Don't get me wrong. She is a very good sprinter. If they miss the TJ Smith Stakes, you can put a line through her, in my opinion. But, Look, she won another 2 strides. She would have been beaten by Johnny Rocker, who,
Johnny Rocker.
who lost in a benchmark 78 race a month ago in Morfettville. So, yeah, you don't see Nature Strip losing in a benchmark 78 to anyone. But
Also want to give a quick shout out to Chain of Lightning for saving my day on the punt.
yeah,
You know?
who trains Chain of Lightning? Could it be the great man himself?
Yeah.
Someone say it, Brandon, please.
Oi, Joy, Moody.
PG Moody. Now, there's a thing with Peter Moody, right? Now, I didn't listen to his podcast last week. Very rude of me.
Oh, how
But
dare you.
the boys on his podcast have this thing. If he takes a run into Sydney, they can always tell when to have a bet on a Peter Moody horse. His Moods never goes to the races, right? But if he does go to the races, he's clean shaven and like clean shaven beard and a fresh haircut. He's got no hair, but like fresh shaven haircut. So whenever we're at the races or paying attention, we need to see where Peter Moody is, because if he's clean shaven, you know whatever horse he's got in the big one, it's time to back him.
See, that was a juicy $13 odds to finish the day.
And
Very
she
nice.
came in, she was like 26s, mate.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
I missed out.
Oh, mate, I was on a Leachy. I thought she was
Yeah.
going to be a good thing. And then I was watching Chain of Lightning's price go down. I'm like, oh, maybe not. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. On Peter Moody, guys, I wish I win. When was the last time we've heard of him, right? It was
Yeah,
was
been
it
a while.
Everest?
Yeah.
Been that long, hasn't it? Well, look, I Wish I Win is going straight first up into the TJ Smith in 2 weeks' time,
Oh, yeah.
where a couple of members of the podcast might be there on the day.
Whoa.
We
Might
might be
be.
able to see the great man himself.
Yeah, maybe. I
So
know
we
he's a
might-
big
might-
fan of this podcast, so we could maybe see him.
Maybe
Yeah, we'll just find a
we-
way to sneak in there and have a chat.
Maybe we just interview him like real
Yeah.
quick, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
But, guys, this week for Group 1 racing, we've got the Tancred Stakes over 2,400 metres, weight for age at Rose Hill. We have got the Vinery Stud Stakes. Now, if you guys don't know, a few weeks ago, I tipped Orchestral in that. She's very short, but I think she should be too good for them. And then I'm pretty sure there's another group race in Melbourne. If you give me a second, I'll just have a quick look for you.
I've seen you a thick multi with Orchestral in it, huh?
Yeah, the Australian Cup guys as well this weekend. Mr. Brightside versus Pride of Jenny.
Oh,
Go at it
What's
again.
this, round 3 for this prep?
Yeah, both currently $2.80. It's 1 all, 2,000 meters. Can Brightside turn
Is
the
Willow
tables?
on board?
Willow is on board.
Fuck.
He kept right.
Oh, journey.
So we'll find out shortly, guys, how that race goes. So that's it for horse racing.
Beautiful. Good stuff. I also had a lot of money on Imperatriz, but we won, so happy days. Punting went all right at the end of the day. Now, that was all for the best bets, the horse racing, but we have best bets.
Good job.
Yes, bit of stuff like that, but yeah. Couch Commentators best bets are all on the Instagram, unless Lucas has another tip for us this week.
I don't yet, boys. I don't yet. I'm having a look actually currently, but I've got nothing.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, he's looking to go 3 in a row, so look forward to that. Go on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, check that out. Follow us all on those social medias as well. Subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.